G'day Groovers, how's it going? Welcome back to my place for another instalment of You got it? Dumbfuckaroo food. Plonk. Now, today we're going to make some pies with the leftover meat from last week. Now, so I had a fair bit left over, so I stuck it in the freezer and I thought, well, I'll do something with it later. So today I'm going to make some pies with it. Some lamb, rosemary and thyme pies. Now this is one of the good things about having herbs in your garden. And you don't need, like you see I live in a little apartment, little courtyard. So I've got rosemary, oregano, thyme, sage, a few chilies, and a bit of lemongrass down there. So you've got a little bit of a choice. So if you want to make something at a pinch, you just walk out, grab a few herbs, put it together with a bit of mince, steak, chicken, anything. You've got all these little things. Then you've got your dry herb, or spices, not so much your herbs, but fresh herbs. Just bruise them, cut them up, and use them. And you can take a small, bland dish and turn it into something special. Not hard to do. It's only a point of doing it. And this isn't hard to do. Like there's 1, 2, 3, 4 pots, 6 herbs there, can cross over onto anything. And you can make so many dishes out of it. Yeah. So anyway, let's make some pies. Plonk. There you go. That was pretty easy. Right. So we're going to make some pies today, as I just mentioned. And we're just going to use gravy. Use the herbs from outside, thyme and rosemary. Garlic, which I've got a whole kilo of the shit. This stuff, onion. Bit of red wine, pretty important. Right, and our diced stuff that was left over from the leg of lamb last week. Puff pastry, and a little bit of flour to work on the pastry. And a rolling pin. Now, this looks like a lump of wood. Oh, it's not. It's a French rolling pin. Why? Have no idea. What were the French doing with their rolling pins? That's a question that I don't know. Or answer. All right, and a spoon. Remember what these were used for when we were kids? Yeah. Oh, and his parent. Righto, let's make some pies.
Don't you let no sharks inside your net. Don't forget when it's feeding time, they've got a taste. You know they're gonna feed on you.
Right, there you go. The herbs, just want to get them on them and just open up those flavours just for a couple of seconds. Right, then this means and our meat. The red wine.
Was a mess with those big time operators. Better know about it.
Our gravy. Oh, yeah.
Better know who they are and what they want. You know they just want a piece of you. Don't you let no sharks inside your net. Don't forget.
Right, something very important. I think I've been over this a few times, but you must stay hydrated, especially when you're baking. It can take a big toll on your soul. So stay hydrated. When you're working with your puff pastry, right, you're going to have to use a bit of flour, right? Because the shit sticks to everything, right? So just a little bit of flour. One of the things why I don't bake is because of the mess that it makes. Not a fan of mess, right? Okay, so we've got our first bit of puff pastry. Fucking come on. Oh, there you go. There you go. Come up, Papa. Right, so put that on. A little bit of flour over the top. Now you've got to remember, these are a bit on the thick side, and they do go flaky depending on what you're going to do with them. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to roll it out a bit. Just going to make it a little bit thinner. I don't want it too thick. All right? So I'm using my rolling pin, my French rolling pin, right? And I'm just going to first run on it, right? And we're just going to just thin it out just a little bit, righto? Not too much, just a little bit. More flour. Right, so we'll do the traditional one first. Just back her in, push her into the sides. Right, you don't want it too thick. It's easy to do. Right, and just manipulate it. Just manipulate it into the corners. Right, yeah, I've just got to do that about 10 times. Now to add the filling. Yeah, look at this. In you go. Meat pies. Now, because you don't want them too runny, because otherwise when you're trying to eat them, you'll end up wearing it. Alright, so let's chuck her on top. Now we're just going to have a little valley just around the sides there. Just around the sides, just like so. And we just cut off the sides. We want to do a little bit of egg wash. I reckon this thing's useless. Just to give it that nice little crisp bit in the end.
You know they're gonna feed on you. You know they're gonna feed on you. You know
The moment of truth has arrived. So there you go. Is it right? That's awesome. All from a leftover leg of lamb. And I've got all these pies. How good is that? Kicking. Oh, and if you're going to have a pie, have it with the bread. We're not heathens, just because we're eating pies. Cheers, how good is that?
you know they're gonna